and welcome to our first consignment update video for our March 2025 auction. Can't believe I'm saying that while we're still in 2024. We are middle of December at the moment, 12th of December, there we go. And I want to say thank you first of all for everyone who participated in our auction last week. Another fantastic success, our biggest sale ever, some great results achieved. So just want to thank our sellers, our buyers, and of course underbidders, and those of you who watch these videos, because you know you're helping the channel grow, expanding our audience, and it is really very much appreciated. So thank you for that. But next auction is taking place on the 11th to the 14th of March. Consignment deadline is the 31st of January. So if you have anything to sell, please get in touch and let us know. We are taking items in for that sale, lots coming in sort of daily for that sale. Certainly people who are collecting their winnings are also dropping off as well. So that's sure to be another big auction with lots of great collections pending to come in for that sale. So as usual, I'll let you decide at the end of this video, but if you do like our video and our channel, please do subscribe, hit the like button and hit the bell icon to get notified for future uploads. But of course you can decide on that on the end. Sign up to our mailing list. Catalogue previews as always go on to guitarauctions.com. You won't really see anything now until the new year. And of course Instagram and Facebook for daily social media uploads. We will be closing for Christmas for a short while from the 20th of December. So Friday 20th of December will be our last day, and then we'll be reopening in the new year. So it might go a bit quiet on this channel because we will not be here to record the videos. There may be one more consignment update before we go, but we are unsure as of yet because the shelves are looking very empty. Usually you're looking at nice full shelves, but we do have a few pieces already consigned, which is good. So we've got things for this video, but yeah, it will be based on how much stock comes in between now and Christmas. But like anywhere, it does get very quiet at this time of year, which is sometimes good from a workload point of view. But anyway, hope you enjoy this video, and I'm going to say it now just in case you don't stick around till the end, which hopefully you do. I hope you have a really good Christmas and New Year with all your friends and family. So in here, first Gibson up for the March consignment updates is this 2014 Gibson Midtown Custom. Now there were variations of this model. The standard, well, very in keeping with I guess Les Paul models. You had the standard Les Paul, and of course they had the Rosewood board and the trapeze inlays, and much like the Les Paul Custom, this one has a, well, it's not ebony, it's actually rich light, but looks like ebony, and with the square pearl inlays. So there we go, and of course the type of head as well. So reasonable condition, some checking starting to show to the top, which I do quite like. I like to see things like that, a bit of patina and age, but this is in the two-tone sunburst finish and in good condition with its case. Next up we have a classical guitar. We had fantastic results with our classical guitar sale in the last auction, especially with the Granary collection. Have a look at the sale results there, and we did a special video for that collection. So if you're into classical guitars and you don't mind that you've missed the sale, then you can go back and look at that video. Some very fine classical guitars indeed, but this is a more of a sort of contemporary type of classical. This is by Takamine, and this is the FC136 model. So it's an electro acoustic classical guitar made in Japan in 1979. So straight grained Indian rosewood back and sides. And you can see that, yes, in reasonable condition. There's a few dings, but it comes with its original case and a really good option. A lot of these Japanese Takamine guitars are fantastic quality, and you can't really go wrong with them. I guess for the advanced, beginner, intermediate range, and even above. These really are fantastic instruments that really don't break the bank. And in here we have another classical guitar, and this is a Harald Petersen. We usually have one or two of these every sale, but one thing I like about Harald Petersen guitars is the wood they have on the back and sides. There's really stunning, tightly grained maple. And yeah, another good solid choice around a similar price point to Takamines. We tend to see figures of 300 to 400 for the classical guitars on both of these that we've just seen. But again, another good guitar with some quality in decent condition. And another classical guitar coming up. This is quite an interesting guitar and concept actually. So this is a collaboration between German luthier Dieter Hopf and Spanish luthier Manuel Adalid, and this is the Artiste membrane model. And essentially what it is, so you can see there we've got the Indian rose of back and sides, and then we've got this top here which has this oval membrane. And essentially what this membrane is this is actually a thinner piece of wood around the bridge, and this has some lattice bracing underneath, and what this does is it allows for sort of bigger sound projection, which is very noticeable when you're playing the guitar. It's a really interesting idea, a collaboration between the two makers, and there we go. You can see it's in good condition, interesting head as well, and this comes with a decent hard case, and will also be in that classical guitar sale, which will be on the 14th of March. So we're very heavy on acoustics in this episode, I'm afraid, for those of you who are into electrics. But this is a Taylor Guitars 2002 310 model, so just a good, solid acoustic guitar in decent condition. And here we have a very, very nice acoustic guitar indeed. This is a sort of top of the line for the maker. Sort of one of many sort of Lowden offshoots of luthiers, previous Lowden luthiers, but this is an Avalon acoustic guitar, and this is the S800 C model, C standing for cutaway, and Bearclaw is there on the label as well, because it has this Bearclaw spruce top. And for those of you who are wondering what that means, well, if you look at the grain in the wood, it of course looks like a bear has clawed the wood, therefore Bearclaw spruce. So has that really distinct look, and decent timber as well. And on the back and sides we have Brazilian rosewood, which we do have a CITES certificate for, which is great. So perfectly saleable. So Brazilian rosewood back and sides, Bearclaw spruce top, other high-end appointments, obviously ebony board, and things like that. And it really is a lovely acoustic guitar. This is an interesting guitar, albeit not hugely valuable, but blueberry, and it's this hand-carved from Bali, Indonesia, acoustic guitar, and yeah, all this hand carving. So really interesting look. Not a bad guitar either, but yeah, they come at a relatively low price point. And some not standard tuning, of course, but yeah, there we go. Blueberry guitars, all of the blueberry guitars I've seen have this type of shallow carving, but certainly interesting. So in here, slight change, we have a jazz guitar, and many of you might be looking at this thinking, oh, it's a Gibson L7C, which it's based on, but it's not. It's a 2013 Norseman, and this was made by a maker called Norman Govdie, who is based in the Shetland Islands, and I hope I've pronounced his surname correctly. Apologies if I have not. But there we go, and as you can see on the label, it does say Setter, Sandwick, Shetland Isles, November 2013. So yeah, based on the Gibson there, you can see all the checking on the nitro finish. So it does have sort of that vintage look. There is a bare knuckle half note P90 pickup installed, but it is a good quality jazz guitar. It's currently set up with sort of quite high gauge strings. I believe I have seen this guitar once before, and yeah, it had flat wounds on it, but I don't think they're flat wounds, and they're not. But yeah, good quality jazz guitar by a lesser spotted maker. We saw the Avalon guitar earlier. We have a, and I mentioned Lowden, we do have a Lowden. In fact, we've got 2 Lowdens in so far. This is the F22 model, quite a low serial number, made in Northern Ireland. George Lowden signed label there. So this is a, well, I guess it's just a typical look and style of his earlier acoustics, with the very rounded upper and lower bouts. But this one features a mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, his usual tuners there. And this one's got some marks and wear, but it is a very nice guitar indeed. We're actually reselling this for the seller who bought it from us many years ago now, and yeah, he's sort of realising back some of his collection, including this and another one we'll take a look at in a second. And here is the second of the 2. There we go. Again, George Lowden signed label. This is the 010 model. It's a slightly deeper body, but very similar, I guess, spec and look otherwise. Again, mahogany neck, mahogany back and sides. I'd say both are in similar condition. You can see there's lots of play wear on this one as well in its original case. So yeah, some 90s era Lowden acoustics coming up in the sale in March. And surprise, surprise, another acoustic guitar. This one by, I guess to most viewers, would be a lesser known maker. We've had a few of them, but this is Lakewood, made in Germany, near Frankfurt, I believe. Could be wrong, correct me if I am. But this is the M-32 model, and it's a 25th year example. It looks like they've been going from 1986 until 2011. So that, well, they're still going now, but this one was made in 2011, being the 25th year. And so we have Rosewood, Indian Rosewood back and sides, spruce top, a little bit of play wear on the treble side, but a decent acoustic guitar again, and probably a lesser known brand that should not be overlooked. And in here, last acoustic of the video, I promise. We are getting to the end of the current entries, but this is a 2012 Gibson SJ200 standard in this ebony finish. You can see it's been played quite a lot, so had quite a lot of use. Usually a sign of a good guitar, eh? But got some scratches, some finish clouding on the back, and there we go. Original case, all its original papers, and a decent Gibson acoustic guitar. And in here we have an electric guitar, and this is a mid-1980s, from around 1986 I would say, Fender Stratocaster, made in Japan, and it's the contemporary style, so it has the System 1 bridge with the locking nut. You should see some Goto tuners, well, Goto type anyway, Fender Japan tuners. Missing its back plate, although we do have it in the case. There we go. Has its trem as well, and for this bridge with the fine tuners, but it's all there. Bit of buckle wear on the back, but I guess as you would expect for a guitar that is now, well, essentially nearly 40 years old. There we go. And in here we have another ebony finished Gibson, but this time from 1981. So this is an ES-347 model, and there's a transitional feature on this guitar. So this has actually got the wrong type of stop bar. Usually it's got the other type of stop bar that the name is, the model name of it is leaving me now, but with the fine tuning. But anyway, you'll notice that this bridge is quite far down. Usually you'd expect it to sit around here. The stop bar, not bridge, stop bar, should normally sit here to the bridge. But this is a transitional feature of this year. You don't see many of this model with the bridge that far down, but it kind of sits more where a trapeze would, I guess. But it certainly is stock, ebony finish, like I said, from 1981, and then sort of later towards the year, the stop bar was brought up to the more traditional place. But there we go. As you can see, ES-347. So on this one we have the block inlays on the ebony board, and then we have the dual switch system, which is typical of this model. And there we go. It's in reasonable condition. There are some marks and dings, bit of wear on the back of the neck, but again, for a guitar that is over 40 years now, 40 years old, I think it's in acceptable condition and comes with this nice plush yellow lined case. So as many of you know now, it's not just about guitars, it's everything guitar related. We always sell lots of pedals, had probably around 200 in the last auction. But I thought this is quite interesting. I've never seen one before. John Hornby Skew's Fuzz 3, made in Italy. Be really interesting to plug that in and see what it sounds like. But there it is with its original box. So we've never had one before. I'm sure some of you have come across them before, but yeah, quite interesting. And some other vintage pedals we have from the same consignor. This is a lesser spotted Orion pedal, the DDS4 digital delay and sampler with the box. It's missing its battery compartment cover, but it does work. So interesting delay and sampler. Again, it's a pedal that we haven't had before. And some of these Orion pedals are now becoming amazingly collectible. When I first started playing guitar, I had some of these Orion pedals, and most people would deem them fit for the bin only. But now there is a following for them, for these old Japanese pedals. And then we have a Gen, so Italian-made Crybaby, essentially. And there you go, the Crybaby Super. Again, it's had some mods. It's missing its feet, so it needs some feet. And someone's put a battery mod on the outside there, which, yeah, well, I think that's quite clever because you don't have to dismantle the whole thing to. But then the feet are missing anyway, so why does it matter? But there we go. Interesting pedals, and we'll have many more. We'll probably have hundreds more by the time we get to the consignment deadline. And as we saw some pedals, why not see some amps? Because we do also sell those. So we've had a few decent entries in the amp section. Some of the things sitting behind me are also props, so not everything here is in the sale. But we've got this Cornford Harlequin Mark I, good British making, very well regarded amps. And then just in front of me here, we have a circa 1970, 71. It's got the serial number is certainly an A suffix, which would indicate around 1970, but I'm pretty sure from memory the factory inspection tag is 71, which has been around the time it left the factory. But anyway, this is a Marshall 1987 head, so it's a 50-watt head. And yeah, there we go, 1987 50-watt head in decent condition and fairly collectible these days. And you can see that is on top of a not a non-matching, but a very modern. If I can see the serial number there, but it's a 1974 CX, but vintage style, single speaker with a single greenback cabinet. So some decent lots coming up within the amp section as well. So there we go, ladies and gents, a short and sweet video.
Like a mince pie.
Like a mince pie, like a nice festive mince pie. Short and sweet video with yeah, I think some quality consignments that are coming up in our next auction on the 11th 14th of March. As I said earlier, please remember, consignment deadline is the 31st of January, so if you do have anything, get in touch, usually with myself, or Chris will be on hand if I'm not around, Chris behind the camera. And yeah, once again, thank you for all your custom this year. We had some fantastic sales, some fantastic lots offered, some great collections, especially artist collections. So yeah, we've really enjoyed the feedback this year. Of course, this channel is growing and growing well. We wish to continue to do so. This might be the last video we do now until the new year. We may have one next week depending on how much stock comes in, but this may be the last one. So if we don't see you before on this channel, I hope you will have a really, really good Christmas and a happy new year to all your friends and family. We'll see you next time. In here, first Gibson up for the sale is a Midtown Deluxe. No, it's not. It's custom. Just checked it as well. Delete that. Delete that.